Hello everyone and welcome to the Dr. Pepper Dash Series Race 3 of the second season of these cars. Of course, the fourth season of this fourth division of the NSDCA. We are here at the DuQuoin Fairgrounds for a 1-mile dirt track event. Here, the first televised dirt track event, I believe, since the prelude to the Dream back a while ago in the first few seasons of the NSDCA. Joe Rutkowski for Pontiac Power Sports, which was bought out by driver Aiden Smith. He will be the new owner of the team. I believe the new name change will be to Gemini Racing after this, but Pontiac Power Sport will be making its final attempt with the Pontiac team. Pontiac manufacturer leading that team. Alongside Joe Rutkowski, who is your points leader, is Ryan Reed in this number 6 for Harmon Benning-Peterson. He went on to win his heat, put himself into second for this event. Ricky Freeman Jr., Alex Parker, and Brett Sierra, all 5 of those guys won their heats to race their way into the show. Looking even further back, there was Danny Lloyd in the 18, but you have KT Larson in the 93. She had a great run in her heat, driving up from the back, moved her way inside the top 20, as well as Alex Peters. A couple leeches in the field this weekend. Larry Hagan went home. Alex Peters in the 69 team, the field 69 out here. Of course, this car usually ran at Homestead because it was the Field's 100. Alex Peters wants to go dirt racing this season in the DPDS, so he's bringing his one off here. He started 8th in his heat, just like all the Leeches did. They started last. He raced his way up, past a lot of drivers in heat number 1, got himself into the show. And brand new team, Luke Evans Incorporated, owned by Luke Evans, who is the driver for Shepherd Racing. He DNQ'd this event, but Stephen Wallace Jr. will be making his one off this season. He's driving that number 68 car. Richard Herman on the outside all the way back, and it's Tristan Wilhoit who finished the last driver in that group in heat number 5 to advance into the show. We're going to go head down trackside and get ready for the command to fire the engines here, the dirt racing, here in the DPDS. We are ready for this event.
Drivers, start your engines!
With that, the engines are fired. We're ready to go racing for 25 laps here with 25 drivers out here at the DuQuoin Fairgrounds. Sure to be exciting. A lot of fans have come out to the fairgrounds. This is a one-off event, of course, here, but the fair is going on here in DuQuoin, so got a lot of patrons here taking a look at that. Joe Rutkowski will be starting on pole. He is your points leader, 2 top 5s, or 2 top 10s, 1 top 5 so far on the season. Leads the points by 6 points over Outside Line Sim Racing's number 17 of Mason Ramsey, and the Hagen Enterprises defending champion of Adam Mitchell by 7 points back there in third. But Rutkowski in the 10, he wants to go ahead, get this team a race victory before this is out. He won last year at Dover when he drove the number 66 Tide Ride. They moved over to the 10 this season, and now Rutkowski trying to put that car back in victory lane. But one team that everyone wants to see in victory lane, Harmon Benning-Peterson. This 6 team raced their way into the show. They pulled off a race win in heat number 2, and now he wants to put himself into victory lane in the real thing. But coming out of turn number 4, you got Rutkowski and Reed, Freeman and Parker, Sierra, Elliott, Lloyd, Mitchell, Stottlemyre, and Bachelia, your top 10. 25 laps here at the dirt track. Green flag is in the air. We are racing at the DuQuoin Fairgrounds. Contact already between the 62 and 6. Reed is shoved out of the way. Here they come through 1 and 2. They're going to be 2 by 2, 3 wide. You're going to see a lot of chaos in the back of this course, on the back of this group. And Reed already pretty much out of there. You're also going to see that most of the dirt is packed up on that outside line in 1 and 2, 3 and 4. That's where you're going to be seeing the dirt clouds being kicked up, and you'll know if someone's running that cushion if they're up there kicking up the dirt. The bottom pretty much is padded out, and it's pretty flat down there. It's still got that dirt track consistency, but it is much easier to hold a line down there at the bottom. Freeman Jr. onto the very bottom there, as Rutkowski now out in front trying to pull away from Alex Parker. 3 wide for that third position as Daniel Elliott in the 79 is going to try to move his way to the top. We're going to stick with this camera angle for a couple laps here just so we could see that whole field as they won. Now Freeman back there. Look at Larson to the very bottom trying to get a run on Sanford. and others around there. So you're just going to see, again, that dirt cloud up top. That is the preferred line for most. However, you might have to make some moves by diving it hard to the inside. That's just how dirt racing is, and it's very exciting to see this track on the schedule. This track has actually been rumored to be a car as Chris Stottlemyre is into the outside wall in that 23. He's around. That'll bring the first caution out. But as we were saying, this track is rumored to be coming up with a truck date, possibly for season number 7 of the NSDCA, so should be entertaining to see if this track will be on for the dirt races. This is not the first time we've ran at DuQuoin. We ran here in the RBSTS before, but it will be Rutkowski leading us back around. Parker, Freeman Jr., Matheson, and Daniel Elliott, your top 5 as they run on around here. And it's Joe Rutkowski in front. He jumped out to an early lead, but Alex Parker made a big move, pushed Ryan Reed out of the way. And that's what's going to get him up into that top group. But Chris Stottlemyre, that 23 team, not getting off to the best of starts this season. Heavy damage to BK Racing's number 23. Their other driver, Larry Hagan, DNQ'd the event as a Leach. Heartbreaking weekend for them, as they're probably going to have to put that 23 behind the wall. They'll try to work on it, though, on pit road. Let's go ahead and take a quick look, see what happened to bring out the first caution of the day here at DuQuoin. Stottlemyre in the 12th position, 3 wide with Bichelia on the inside, Dale Cole Jr. on the outside, and he's going to run up the track into the back, or into the side of Cole Jr. Big hit as he smacks it back into the inside wall, or outside wall, but a heavy hit for that 23. Just got up too close to Cole Jr., backs it into the wall. Heavy damage to the 23, most likely going to end his day, or at least take him out of any good points days. We're going to go ahead and get you guys back to the action here at the Camping World 100. Back live here at the Camping World 100. Rutkowski on up in front. Alex Parker second. Third, Ricky Freeman Jr. Fourth is the 1 of Gunnar Matheson. Fifth, Daniel Elliott. Ryan Reed's dropped to 6th. Brett Sierra 7th. KT Larson up to 8th already. 9th is the 87 of Charles Sanford. 10th, Danny Lloyd. Dale Cole Jr. sits 11th, but looking at the very back of the grid, that 23 Chris Stottlemyre, they did not bring it down to pit road to the attention of the crews. Even though there is no pit stops in the Dr. Pepper Dash Series, they still have a couple mechanics that work on the cars over the weekend, and that 23 team, they did not bring it down to be worked on, so they will try to finish this race with that much damage. But out in front, Joe Rutkowski, we're going to be pacing on around 7 of 25, going back racing lap 8 of 25, so closing in on halfway in this race already. Saw some crazy moves. It's not going to be 2x2 on this restart. It's always 1x1 here in the NSDCA, so we'll see. Go back to the wide angle cam here on the front straightaway to watch this restart. We'll see who makes a move. Rutkowski leads, but Parker gets a great restart in the 62 all over the back of the 10. Will he make the dive into turn 1? And that he will, to the very bottom. Here comes Alex Parker in the 62 to the inside of Rutkowski. Can he make it stick on that inside line? Coming off of turn number 2, down the back straightaway is Freeman's there. Now Daniel Elliott in the 79 looking to the inside of Matheson, but can Parker throw it in and pass this number 10? Coming off the corner, Rutkowski up the track. Parker tries the slide job and will clear for Hagen Enterprises, but now Rutkowski's going to look back to the bottom as they go 2x2, 3 wide further back. Stottlemyre making a move, but up in front, Rutkowski now has to drop back to the inside, 2x2 up front as drivers are making their way through this field. Now that outside line's good, but you can hang on that inside line as Rutkowski's going to get it. But you see the momentum carried by Parker. They were side by side coming off at 1 and 2. Now they are spread out, but now Rutkowski throws it in, is going to get to the bottom there and clears back in that number 10. Contact further back between Sierra and Reed as they're racing back there. But up in front, it is a gaggle of cars. Freeman up to second. Look at KT Larson in the 93. Her debut to the NSDCA was going right into the wall at Homestead in the Molson Modifieds qualifying on her opening lap, and now she's up inside trying to make a top 5 run as Gunnar Matheson's going to jump to the bottom. And look at Danny Lloyd. His debut came in a Sundrop Cup Series race earlier at Atlanta. Didn't run too well, qualified great, didn't run too well, but did come home with a respectable finish, even though I believe the car was involved in some crashes. He's been running well for Silver Wolf Racing at Mesa Marin. Now looking for a move, is going to get shoved by Ryan Reed through, and up in front, Rutkowski, Freeman, and Parker trying to pull away here. Matheson's going to clear that number 1 into 4th, coming off the corner. It is a war back here for about 6th on back as Rutkowski tries to pull away in that 10 car. Reed versus Larson. That's for that 6th position there. 6th and 7th as everyone ripping that top line. That's how you're going to make moves. And you see the momentum Larson carries. I think when it starts getting single filed out up here, that's when it's going to be harder to make some passes because you just really, it's so hard to really make passes without getting into each other, and these guys try to keep it clean because they don't want to tear up these DPDS cars. Some teams really can't afford too many tear-ups, but right now Freeman, Parker trying to chase down the 2 Dodges, nose to tail, trying to chase down this Pontiac, that 10 team. Back there is Matheson. Up the track goes Ryan Reed in the 6. Even further up was Mitchell Carter in the 65, and we're going to take a look back. There is Chris Stottlemyre. Just like the short tracks, it looks like the dirt racing arrow is not really affecting him. He's gained a couple spots. It looks like on Felix Janssen, the 7 of Brandon Beal, and the 29 of Tristan Wilhoit. Those guys all started near the back of this event. Top 6 now set out single file. There's some battling in that middle part, and just looking at this wide angle shot, the amount of just white bases we see here in the DPDS, they are 3 wide up here. Larson looked to the bottom. Elliott is there, but Matheson's going to clear on that outside line and try to hang on over Daniel Elliott. 14 to 25 to go, so we still got 11 laps through this event left to run, as now Rutkowski pulling away. Alex Parker trying to clear and pass Freeman Jr. Freeman is a Kyle Corbett Motorsports driver, but only in the Molson Modifieds. He is driving for his own team in that number 92 Freeman Motorsports there in the Dr. Pepper Dash series. But now Parker tries to clear, and he will clear into second. Now has to chase down that 10 again. Further back, Larson has moved up and made a pass on Matheson. I think Daniel Elliott also made a pass on him. So that is your top 5 as they run right now. And Parker doing everything he can, running just lower than that line. Might have gained a little bit there as Matheson's going to throw it 3 wide on Larson and Elliott. That's the battle now for this 4th position as they go 3 wide down the back. But Rutkowski out in front, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th right there. Now Matheson slides through. Here comes Danny Lloyd in the 18, going to push Larson up the track. And that is 2 Europe-based drivers. Lloyd from the UK. I believe Larson is from Scotland or the UK. I believe lives in both. But they are right now in that battling for that 6th position with Danny Lloyd, and then a UK-based team, an Adkins Racing team, with Kyle Bichelia back there in that 8th position. So we got some international flair up here, fighting just outside of the top 5. But Rutkowski seemingly just holding on to that race lead over Parker. Freeman, it might need to be another caution left in this race before there's too little too late for them to get that spot. And now you see Larson back to the bottom trying to pull that crossover. Lloyd with a big run, and now he's going to look for a top 5 position there as he's going to look to the inside of Daniel Elliott in that Evernham Racing 79 as he goes up the track. Now Lloyd's going to try to carry on up. Up in front, though, Parker starting to reel in that number 10 of Joe Rutkowski. The battle's further back, heating up, but Alex Parker trying to drive that 62 towards the front here. He sits 4th in points. This could be a big points day, gaining if he can beat Joe Rutkowski, but either way, if he could come home with the 2nd place finish, that's also a big points day. Mason Ramsey, Adam Mitchell, both pretty far back. Ramsey's in the 18th position. Adam Mitchell just outside the top 15, I think. Right there. Is that a problem for Brett Sear, or is he just that low? Oh my gosh. Alex Peters, Adam Mitchell, Dwayne Rockefeller almost got together back there, and Mitchell is all over the side of that number 9 car trying to use that up. Looking further back at some of these other teams, Stephen Wallace Jr. not doing too hot in that 68. He only barely raced his way in, and he has damage to the side of that car, so that's probably costing him a lot of time. But Will Hoyt has not been able to make a move further back. Rutkowski up in front, Parker 2nd, Freeman 3rd, Matheson 4th, Elliott 5th, Danny Lloyd 6th, Kyle Bichelia in 7th, 8th Ryan Reed, 9th KT Larson, and it looked like in the 10th position, Dale Cole Jr. Trying to keep that car inside the top 10. But now Matheson getting up into this battle. The top 4 now kind of spread out, but here comes Parker. He's got a run coming off of 3 and 4 if he can keep it there, but Freeman's going to get a big run too. Will he try to make the dive on the 62? 3 cars under a blanket, 6 laps to go here at DuQuoin. This dirt race, we've only had 1 crash, but we've had some pretty good racing, and Alex Parker trying to set up a race to the finish again between himself, Rutkowski, possibly Ricky Freeman Jr. in that 92, and Gunnar Matheson in the 1 back there in that 4th position. Rutkowski's going to throw it in, though, as Matheson's going to get a nose to the inside on Freeman. They're going to push up the track. That's going to be contact between the 1 and 92 there. You got to try these crossovers. You got to try these slide jobs, and that's some contact between those two there. for that third position. But Parker is not letting that 10 out of his sights, just trying to get that 62 up there and trying to get him on the back. Now he's got a run. Does he have a run? He has some momentum coming off a 2 right to the back bumper of that 10 car down the back straightaway. Now I don't think Parker wants a caution. I think he wants to win this race. He wants to get up there and try to make the move on the 10. If their caution comes out now, the race is most likely over. But here comes Parker now, just a little bit higher than Rutkowski off the corner, getting a run off of there. Freeman, though, right there. And here comes Parker. He's going to dive to the inside in that 62 car. Can he make it stick? The inside line not as big on the straightaways. It'll cost him some time possibly getting off of here. But him and Rutkowski now side by side. Here comes Alex Parker in the 62 to the bottom. Hagen Enterprises has never won an NSDCA race. They have a championship before they won. Might have been some contact there between Parker and Rutkowski. But Adam Mitchell scored the championship last season with 0 victories. Now, Alex Parker, your new race leader, as he clears Rutkowski down the front. There's your top 4. Looking further back, Lloyd has passed him. KT Larson starting to fade. Charles Sanford has moved his way up into that 11th position. Looking further back, though, the whole field pretty much clean. Freeman Jr. now looking for a move on the 10. So close there as they almost make contact coming off of the corner. But Alex Parker now in the race lead. Matheson in the 1 is on the back of Freeman. That's the battle for that 3rd position. Rutkowski now trying to catch up to that 62, but I think Parker might have the edge now. He has that clean air. It's hard to pass. You saw how long it took for the 62 to catch the 10 and take the position away from him, but now Rutkowski seems he might have used all his stuff up. He's dropping back. Freeman and Matheson back there in 3rd and 4th, but Alex Parker ripping that outside line, coming around to the white flag. Rutkowski with a bit of a run off the corner, though. Matheson and Freeman back there. The top 4 single filed out as they come on through. Now we're coming to the white flag. Does Rutkowski have anything for the 62 car? He's trying to mount a charge down the front straightaway. White flags in the air for Alex Parker. Hagen Enterprises has never won in the DPDS or the MMS. The most they've ran in series. But here comes Rutkowski. He's to the back of that 62. Does he have enough? He's going to have to set it up for a final corner battle right here, right now, down into turn number 3. Does Rutkowski have enough to throw it in? He looks to the outside. I don't think that's going to happen. Alex Parker is going to be able to clear off of the corner and coming through 3 and 4. Down the front straightaway, Alex Parker in the 62 won't be outdone by BK this time. Parker will win it at the DuQuoin Fairgrounds. Full field flying on through, the dust in the air. You're going to see it on the helmets when these guys get out. All of the dust that's now caked onto their windscreens, onto their helmets, just all over themselves. But I'm pretty sure everyone in this crowd, maybe save for Chris Stottlemyre and Stephen Wallace Jr. as they end the day with damage, probably had a good time. I don't know about these bottom 3. They didn't really gain much. But Alex Parker, you know, he's going to be celebrating first win in the Dr. Pepper Dash Series. Hagen Enterprises breaks through, gets their first win after being outdone by BK Racing for 2 races so far this season. And Alex Parker and the 62 team will bring it home victorious. Joe Rutkowski in the 10 just loses it at the end. He's going to come home second. But what a race we saw here. The dirt track putting on an absolute show. I'm sure the fans had a great time there. Fans in the stands are cheering. But a lot of dirt was kicked up today. A lot of good racing. A lot of 3-wide action. A lot of slide jobs. And a lot of dive bombs. Brings us to the end of this race. And it's Alex Parker and the 62 team taking home the victory. Joe Rutkowski 2nd, Ricky Freeman Jr. 3rd, Gunnar Matheson 4th, Daniel Elliott rounds out your top 5. KT Larson, Ryan Reed started the race so good, they dropped to 8th and 10th, but Chris Stottlemyre fights his way back up into the 20th position. The Leeches of Stephen Wallace Jr., Alex Peters did not have too good of a day, 16th and 21st for those 2 drivers. Alex Parker gets to celebrate in victory lane, and you know Larry Hagen's smiling even though he did DNQ this race. His team got to go to victory lane. Thank you guys so much for watching the DuQuoin Fairgrounds race, the Camping World 100 here in the Dr. Pepper Dash Series, and we'll see you guys next time on the NSDCA.